All right, this video is for the 3.2 homework, but we're going to start with the calculator tip. So today we're going to be writing the full equation of the line. Or we're going to have coffee chit-chat time. All right. Your calculator will do the hard work for you. Your calculator does what's called linear regression, and that's what I'm going to show you today. If you have 2 points, or if you have a table of values, your calculator will find the equation of the line. So what I always tell kids to do is take your ordered pairs and to stack them up. When you stack them up, you can draw a line through the commas, and you can make a table. So these are my x's, and these are my y's. I know that y is kind of hard to see. So in your calculator, we're going to start from the home screen. Make sure there's nothing in it. Make sure you're starting fresh. Linear regression will mess other things up. So always start fresh when you do this. But we're going to go in here to list in spreadsheets, the green box. All right, next to the A, we're going to type an X. Next to the B, we're going to type a Y. And we are going to use this skill a lot, okay? So we put our X values in. That's this first column. So we've got -1 and -3. And then we're going to come back up and we're going to put our Y values in. Everybody has to match up with its buddy. So if that -3 is next to the -1, it's got to go next to the -1 there. Don't flip-flop points. And then my last Y is a 1. So the keys for this is the part that you need to remember. As long as you have your journal, you'll have it. Those keys, menu 413, we will use those until you're sick of them this year. And that's what we're going to push. We're going to do menu, and then 4, 1, and then 3. We want mx plus b. That's slope-intercept form. All right, and then it gives us this. It says linear regression. It wants to know what the x and the y is, and that's why we do those labels. So when you click the arrow next to X list, you can select X. When you click the arrow next to the Y list, select Y. Again, that's why we label them, so we make sure that they don't get mixed up. And then we're going to hit OK. It gives me the pieces. So this one tells me that the M is -2 and the B is -5.
Our calculator did not do.
Yeah, it's not like this.
Ooh, let me see.
It lets us do this.
Okay, so you see where my blue box is? After you type this 1 in here, hit enter, and it automatically puts that blue box there, and then do menu 413. If you leave it like this where you're still typing in that blank, your calculator won't do it. Enter that number, lock it in, and then do menu 413. Give me just a second and I'll look at it. All right, so M is -2, B is -5. Slope-intercept form, which is the form that we use the most this year, is Y equals mx plus b. So to write our equation, we swap out the M with the number it gives me. We swap out the B. Now, it gives me a -5, so I'm not going to do plus -5. I'm just going to do -5. And that's my equation. Okay. All right, so this page, all you need is the left-hand side of this page. If you want some more practice, you're more than welcome to it. But this is going to go in the back of our book. Okay, so that's the page that I wrote the 10 on. And you should have 1 and 2, 3 and 4 on the back side of 4 is where this one's going to go. So it should be on a right-hand-sided page. Okay. Here's 4. On the back is where you should put number 5. If you're not sure, ask. Let me help you. All right, so we're going to find the entire equation from graphs and from tables today, both ways. So number one, what is the name of a measure of the steepness of a line on a graph? We did that one. Yeah, it's slope. Okay. What's the name of the y-coordinate of the point where the graph crosses the y-axis? The y-intercept. Those are the two main pieces of slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. M is the slope, b is the y-intercept. You should have been doing this stuff last year. This is literally one of my 8th grade pages. All right, so from a graph, we have to do the same thing we did yesterday. We can count the slope, and then we can identify the y-intercept. It does not matter which 2 points you use. I could use these two. I could use these two. I could use these two. Just make sure you're simplifying. All right, I picked 2 that are close together because then I'm less likely to have to simplify. All right, so from here to here, does my first move need to be up or down? So I'm going to go up, and I know the grid lines are nasty again. And then I'm going to go across. Okay, so I'm just going to follow this here. So I'm going up. 1, 2, 3. So I went up 3. And then I'm going over 1, 2, 3. If you're going to the axis, that's a jump to 4. You don't jump from -1 to +1. So I went over 4. So that's my slope. Y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. Okay, the y-axis is the vertical. So I'm crossing right there. That's where the line touches that axis. And that's my b value, and it's a +4. Those are the only 2 numbers you need. Again, always check your fractions. Simplify them if you need to. So y equals, m is the slope, tack on the x. 4 is positive, so we do +4. Just adding a piece to what we did yesterday. All right, number 4. From here to here, do I need to go up or down?
Down.
I need to go up, down. So remember, left to right, always from left to right.
Oh.
Okay, I know it's hard to see. This is see how this is a -2? That means that's -1. So I'm going down 1, and I'm going over 1, 2, 3. So if I go down, it's a -1. And then I go over 3. And I apologize that these graphs are so junky. All right, y-intercept. So where does it cross? The y-axis is here. So where does it cross the y-axis? -1. All right, we always start with y equals. Slope goes first, so -1/3. Tack on the x. We're just using this format, and we're changing the m to a number and the b to a number. B, though, is a -1. So I'm not going to do plus -1, just -1. You can see pretty well on that one on 5. This point here, just so you kind of have some reference points, that's the y-axis. You've got a 1 here, and then here's the x-axis. This point is at -1, just so you've kind of got some reference points. Ooh, sorry, hard to see. And then this one is, here's your y-axis. Here's your x-axis. So you've got 1, -1, -2, -3, -4, and then 1, 2, and 3. And then you've got -1, -2, -3. Try those. If it's hard to see, I'll help you count over your slope and everything. Okay, so from a table now. I'm going to do both of those. All right, number 7. We can use linear regression. So I'm going to start fresh. I X out, I don't save. Don't go to home, X out. So brand new list in spreadsheets. We put an X next to the A. We put a Y next to the B. And then we type our X's in. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we come back up here to the top of the Y's. And again, make sure everybody matches up. 0 should be with 0. The 2 should be next to the 1. 4 should be next to the 2. 6 and 8. Make sure your blue box is not on, not on the value. And then we're going to do menu 4, 1, 3. Menu 4, 1, 3. Change the X list to X, the Y list to Y, and hit OK. So it gives me an M of 2 and a B of 0. See the M and the B? That's where I'm pulling those letters from. It also tells you where to put those. It gives you slope-intercept form right here, mx plus b. All right, so we always start with a y equals. Then our slope, tack on the x. Do I need to put plus 0 at the end of this?
No.
It does not make a difference. Adding 0, subtracting 0 does not make a difference mathematically. So we leave it off. Part of the goal of algebra is to write these things in as few of symbols and numbers as possible. So if we don't need to put it, we don't put it. All right, so let's do number 8. So I'm Xing out at the top. Don't save. Starting a new one. X and Y. Ooh. No. X and Y. All right, my X is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, then my Y values. 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5. And again, hit enter after that last number so it locks it in. And then we're going to do menu 4, 1, 3. Change the X list to X, the Y list to Y, and then hit OK. This one is okay to leave as a decimal. How you can tell if you need to do decimals or fractions. If there's decimals in your problem, it's okay that your answer's in decimal form. If there's fractions in your problem, then your answer needs to be in fraction form. Linear regression, doing it this way, only gives you decimals. So there are going to be times when we do linear regression that we do have to convert. This one we don't because there's decimals in our problem. So M is 1, B is 3.5. So if I write this out, Y equals M is 1, tack on the X, positive 3.5. Do you see something amiss? There's something that we don't do in algebra. Not the decimal. I told you decimal's okay on this one. There's something else that's off.
1x.
What do we do with the 1 in front of the X?
Remove it.
That 1 has to become invisible. Starting off right now, because we're still getting used to that. I won't take points off. Later on as we go, if you put 1s in front of X's, I will count them wrong. Okay? On the EOC, that will be the answer choice, not that. Okay? So if you get a 1 in front of an X, you make it invisible. It's still there, It's just invisible. It's not like the 0 on this one. All right, that leaves you 4 problems left to do. Ooh, we went a little